So my windshield, my windscreen finally came in, and when I look at I thought it would be in a box or something, but no, it looks like it was just kind of in some plastic wrap. It didn't come from overseas. It looks like it came from somewhere like New Jersey. So it was shipped from inside the United States, which was surprising because it was supposed to be here like not until 3 more weeks. So I don't know what happened with that, but as you can see, it was just wrapped in some plastic here. I didn't even open it yet. So this is my first time. Obviously, I wanted to see, kind of wait till the video was presented to show you guys what it looked like. So it looks like they wrapped it in some plastic wrap, and then they had like in foam. It was like foam around it. That's that, lightweight foam that they wrapped around it. So, being plexiglass or whatever material it is, I'm sure it's going to be fine. But I thought it would be in a box, just to give it a little more added protection, but apparently not. So I was like, well, that's interesting. So it was wrapped really well. I mean, gosh, it took like a while to get this thing unwrapped because I didn't want to scratch it, with anything. But so, yeah, it finally came, and then I get this, whatever you call this, foam, light layer foam that was really wrapped around it really well, as you can tell. It's like, oh my goodness, like taking a half hour to get this thing unwrapped. And then underneath that, they had this like blue protective film, I guess you would call it, that you see wrapped around glass. You'll see that on cars and vehicles sometimes when they're new. I don't know what, and it's actually in a plastic bag. So this is like a big plastic Ziploc bag, okay? And then underneath that was more wrap. So yeah, this screen I got off eBay, or not eBay, Amazon, and I'll put it in the link below if you're interested. It was only like 39 bucks. So I'll show a size comparison here in a minute. But see, now they got this blue film, protective film that's on the glass that you have to take off. And I think that was the last thing I had to remove. But for $39, if it does the job, I feel like, that's a no-brainer. Because really the stock glass that they put on this, the stock windshield, to me is, I don't know, I guess it serves a little bit of purpose. I mean, I never driven the bike without it on, so I can't really can't really comment on does it even serve a purpose, but it's pretty small. So this one is taller, and this one is wider. But yeah, man, they really wrapped this thing good, as you can see. It's like, oh my goodness. Now the design on this thing is pretty slick. It's got like it comes in different colors. Like I got the clear, I've seen the ones where some folks that follow my channel got the smoke glass color, and that's really sharp looking. But I just got the clear. I'm just kind of anal about being able to see through things, and I want to see through it. But there it is. It's got like a little graphical thing on the bottom, kind of fades up, and it looks like it's pretty good. It wasn't scratched or anything. I was real surprised because it didn't come in a box. I was a little nervous about that. But it's hard to see in the video, but you can see it's a little taller. I would say maybe 2 inches or more taller than in the original Shield, and then wider, about the same width, 2 inches maybe on the sides. So it's worth a shot. Like I said, I don't want it too big. I don't want a shield that was going to hinder my vision. So you can still be on the bike and actually look over this windscreen, which is kind of what I wanted. But yeah, maybe a couple inches taller. It's not going to be a dramatic change, but I mean, I think it looks okay. It's got like a neat little, and it only comes in one color. That little yellow design or whatever fade you see there is basically the only color it comes in. But the glass itself you can get in, I think, 3 different shades: clear, smoked, and dark. I'm pretty sure, but you'd have to check out the link, which is underneath the video. Now, to get this off, it's real easy. I had a tool left over from actually a bed frame that I purchased, believe it or not, that was the exact size of the hex, or that Allen wrench hex bolt bit, I should say. But these weren't on there super tight because they fit in these little rubber grommets, you know. So I took this off with literally 4 screws, the original windscreen, as you can see. Now the trick to get it on, I had to go through a little bit of, you know, engineering in my mind to do it the right way. So see, here's a side-by-side comparison. You know, kind of hard to see in the video, but yeah, it's not a dramatic thing, but I think it's a good size, and I think it looks a lot better on the bike with it. You know, so I'm going to lose my vinyl graphics, but that's okay. I might put some more on this one. I just haven't decided what I want to do yet. So yeah, this just fits on with 4 different screws. You need like an Allen wrench type bit to put them on, but I did it the wrong way. I took it off, and then I tried to put these back on with the rubber grommets like already attached to the glass, and it didn't work out real well, because on the bike, the frame itself that holds the windscreen is like, there's little holes, kind of like you see on a picture frame, where you put a nail in it and then it slides up into more of a lock position. So what you have to do is, I found the best way to mount this, and I know it's not rocket science, but you put the rubber grommets in the hole and then slide them up, and they go into like this locking position, okay? And you do that with all 4 of them. So take my word for it, this is a lot easier. So you put these in the holes, hard to see on the video. Everything's hard to see on the video because I got it in super wide mode all the time. But then once you get the rubber grommets locked in place, it's a lot easier. Then you put your shield on and tighten down the 4 screws, or bolts I should say. But here's the key, you don't want to tighten these down, like you don't want to monkey these on here and you'll crack the plexiglass. You just want to get them tight enough to where it's not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? You don't want to crank them down too hard. So kind of just, you know, finger tight. I'm just loosely putting these on, and when I feel a little bit of resistance, I just maybe went another turn, and that's it. You don't have to over tighten those things because they're rubber and they just fit in there real nice. And that's about it. So we're going to go test this out, see how it actually does on the road. So as I ride this thing, I do notice, a pretty significant difference, actually. I was not sure I was going to, but I would say at lower speeds, maybe between, or really anything under 35. I'm going to take it out on the main road here shortly to get a little bit more speed build up, but just cruising through the subdivisions and stuff like this, back roads, like I said, anything probably below 35 or 30 miles an hour, it's really nice. I don't really feel much wind at all. And so far from just my initial experience, this is pretty nice. I do feel a difference. I wouldn't say it's like an amazingly different experience, but I do feel that, I guess, the force of wind on the chest and head area has been reduced so far. Like I said, I won't get a good feel until I get on the road that it's going to be a 55 mile per hour zone that I'm going to get out to eventually. But yeah, I think this feels nice so far. There's going to be wind and some turbulence, around the sides and top of the shield, of course. But from, like I said, first impressions, I can tell a difference. I really can, and I think it's going to be a lot more enjoyable to get on a bike and just cruise around, when you don't have all that wind in your head and chest all the time. That's just not fun to me. So, now I know there's a lot of guys that ride, a lot of men and women that ride motorcycles with no shield at all, with no windscreen at all. And of course, it's a personal choice. Now this road is it's still 25, but you can cook on this a little bit because it's a nice open road through the back side of the golf course. And like I said, even going at this speed, I don't really notice too much wind on my chest at all. So yeah, I'm happy with it so far. Like I said, when I get on the main road, so I'm trying to feel here like where the wind kind of is going over. Is it going over my head, or is it, So it feels like it's hard to tell, of course, unless you're in a wind tunnel and you see the actual colors of the windscreen. But it does feel like it's going over my head. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, now I'm on a road that's 55. So this is kind of like a bypass from north to south of the city. And this is, like I said, 55 miles an hour. Now, when I went this fast, of course there's cars that poke, so you can't ever really go. This bike, I'm telling you, it keeps up with anything around here because people have a tendency to, like the Farmer John mentality. They just cruise around at 45 no matter where they're at. So I had to slow down a little bit to get some space between me and the traffic, which I think I was doing here. And then I wanted to open it up and just get a feel for the blast of air when I'm at 60, And really when I did that, because this was pre-recorded as I do my audio separately, which is going to change here shortly, I promise. But yeah, it was a big gust of wind on the semi that just passed me. But going 60 miles an hour, I do notice a difference. Now you still have the turbulence, I think, around the sides of the windscreen, but I think overall, I really do think overall, especially when you're going slower in the subdivisions and stuff, you notice a really nice difference. Yeah, so pleased with it. But you just have to gauge it. I mean, for $39, links below the video, if you want to grab one of these, you're not out like $200 or something if it doesn't make a big deal to you. But I think for the $39 price point on Amazon, oh my gosh, you can't go wrong. And it's a nice looking shield, and like I said, it comes in different shades, whether you want the smoked or the clear. This is the clear one, and it does have that nice little graphical stuff that they put on the front, and there's even an ADV150 wording there in red, which is hard to see. But yeah, just make sure you get it straight before you tighten down the Allen bolts too much. I didn't do that, so I think it's a little off. I'm really OCD about that, but I think it's a little cockeyed, which I'm going to fix later. But overall, it doesn't look bad. you know, and that's about all I got. So you guys check it out if you have one of these. I think another person here, Greg, has one. He really noticed a big significant difference, and I think you're right, Greg. It did really really nice job. Even, you know, at high speeds, not as much, but I don't go 60 miles an hour that much at all. So I think I'm going to get the most enjoyment out of this just cruising around at the, you know, 40 miles an hour and under like I do. So yeah, good deal. Pleased with it. Thanks guys for, you know, just checking out the channel and your support, and, you know, keep the comments coming. I really like to engage with the customer. Feel like I'm at work. I engage with the users on YouTube a lot, and I do like enjoying the commentary and the comments that you guys leave. So keep it up. Make sure you like the video and all that jazz. But yeah, my next video is going to be a ride around with this screen on even more. So I, you know, as I you know, have this a little bit longer, I'll be able to get, you know, a little better feedback for you guys. But so far, thumbs up. All right, guys. Thanks.